Flying is statistically the safest way to travel, but as the following cases will show, it might also be the weirdest. Here are 7 of the strangest things that happened on an airplane. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to They Will Kill You. Hit the like button and request any topics you'd like to learn about in the comments section below. Number 7. Student watches porn and gets naked. A Bangladeshi 20-year-old student was arrested after watching porn, stripping naked, and attacking an attendant during a flight. In March 2018, shortly after the Malindo air flight departed from Kuala Lumpur, the 20-year-old started watching pornography on his laptop. As nobody seemed to notice or call him out for it, the man began taking his clothes off. At the request of the cabin crew, the student put his clothes back on, but soon he tried to hug female flight attendants. When the crew members rejected him, he reportedly became aggressive and groped a flight attendant. With the help of some of the passengers, the cabin crew managed to subdue the man and tie his hands with a piece of cloth for the rest of the flight. One of the passengers captured the moment with his phone. Although airline officials refused to confirm details of the incident, the photo of a man with his bottom sticking out of his pants and hands tied up emerged online. The disruptive passenger was arrested on arrival. Number 6. Man urinates on fellow passenger for not being allowed to smoke. An Algerian man was arrested in February 2016 on arrival of his flight after causing a fight on the plane and urinating on another passenger. The incidents took place mid-air on an Air Mediterranean flight from Algiers to Paris. Halfway through its 90-minute route, one of the passengers was outraged because he wasn't allowed to smoke or drink alcohol on board. He later urinated on another passenger in protest, but the victim stood up and punched him. Cabin crew members managed to break up the fight and held down the disruptive passenger. The flight was diverted to Lyon, and the Algerian man, along with the other man involved in the fight, were escorted off the plane by police upon landing. Number 5. Passenger dragged off flight and severely injured. A man was dragged out of a United Airlines plane and injured after he refused to give up his seat on an overbooked flight. In 2017, United Airlines Flight 3411 had to make room for 4 employees who needed to make it to Louisville, the flight's destination. The airline offered travel vouchers and a free hotel room and seat on a later flight to anyone who would volunteer to deboard, but there were no takers. Therefore, cabin crew had to randomly choose 4. One of them was Dr. David Dow, who was already in his seat. However, Dr. Dow refused to leave the flight as he had to see patients at his clinic the next morning. When the airline staff insisted Dr. Dow leave, he refused and tried calling United Airlines customer service, but was soon approached by 3 Chicago Department of Aviation security officers. Dr. Dow was physically removed from his seat and dragged off the plane. During the altercation, his head was smashed against the armrest and he started screaming. Some of the other passengers took pictures and videos of the incident with their phones. Dr. Dow was caught on camera bleeding and was left with a broken nose, a concussion, and 2 of his front teeth were knocked out. Ultimately, Dr. Dow sued United Airlines and was awarded an undisclosed amount of money. Number 4. Pilot dies mid-flight. A 57-year-old pilot died mid-flight while flying American Airlines Flight 550 from Phoenix to Boston. On October 5, 2015, Captain Michael Johnston fell ill while en route. The plane was carrying 147 passengers and 5 crew at takeoff. After Johnston fell ill, the co-pilot announced to air traffic control that there was a medical emergency.